Hey, what's going on YouTube? It has been a little while since I've done a Clash of Wills video, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them has to do with me not feeling like I have a whole lot to contribute as far as like different kinds of runs and different kinds of builds, just because I've been really busy. But I have been getting rank 1 in them, which has been really nice now that I've got some units that really contribute to that. But this particular month, I feel like it's not that hard, but I haven't seen any videos that do exactly what I'm doing, and so I thought I would share, how I got my rank 1 clear. I will, excuse me, I will say this. There's a little bit of RNG in this clear. I've had to make a couple of attempts at recording it just because there is some RNG. So it's not perfect, but it does work. And just got to try and, be as cautious as you can. The main difference that I'm using compared to other runs is using Skye instead of Olive. But there you go. So if this ends up working, we'll take a look at the gear afterwards, and we'll get into it. And I'll try and talk about the fight a little bit as we go. I assume by now most people probably know how the fight's working. Boss starts with doing some buffs for himself and some mirage stacks that you have to get rid of before you can do any damage. So we'll do that here in just a moment. We're going to start with Reberta doing Rousing Roar to fill morale, Aquatic Killer for obvious reasons, and Emissary of Demise to boost the modifier of our skills, which is very important. There we go. Sylvie is going to go ahead and do Bolt Egg Basket and then double Petals and Vines, right? For morale fill and lightning imbue and all that good stuff. Perfect. Chow is going to go ahead and do Guard Dog, True Guardian's Blessing, and Focused Inspiration. There we are. Seems to help survive the first turn, which can be a little dicey sometimes. Skye is going to start stacking her LB. Esther is going to use Energizing Bunny and Shatterbolt twice. And Kaito is going to be using just his two breaking skills and Torrential Blade Storm to remove the Mirage stacks. So there we go. Now we can do damage to the boss. There we go. Not taking too much damage. Looking good. Chow takes a little bit of damage there, and we start countering. And Sylvie actually took some damage there too, which means she can counter and give everybody re-raise and healing and good stuff. So we're looking good here on turn 1. So turn 2 is largely a physical turn, and I don't have a whole lot of really great gear that's helping out with morale fill and stuff like that. We don't gain a whole lot of morale on turn 2 as a result of the fact that the boss doesn't do a whole lot of magical attacks on Chow. So we have to hope for a lot of counters on turn 1. We did pretty good, but then we also have to try and push the gauge as much as we can using our skills. So we're going to do 3 casts of that for Chow. Reberta's going to downshift and give us some Mirage stacks and some more morale fill. There we go. Sylvie's going to do her 3 for morale fill. There we go. Looks like we're going to be below 50, which is good. We're going to do Torrential Force and then morale fill and just some chaining and some capping. Or some stacking. We call it capping, but it's really stacking. There we go. We're definitely below 50, which is good. We're at 46%. We're cruising right along. Turn 3 is a combination of physical and magical, and it really hurts sometimes. So we're going to try and deal with that a little bit. There we go. We're not going to counter that many times with Chow because we didn't take a whole lot of magical hits. So again, we have to just like push the gauge manually as much as we can. And the boss gets Mirage stacks. You can kind of see how it's got like the vapor trails. Chow's going to go ahead and do triples here. There we go. Try and work the gauge. Reberta is going to Rousing and Ignitos Domain and Mystic Breath. There we go. And Sylvie is going to triple here. And we're gonna do Paladin's Defense, Marion's Blessing Lightning, and Cheerful Paladin Strike, because it does fill the morale gauge. This fills the gauge 350. So it's as much as her vines do. So if you're looking for a way to fill the gauge in her shift form, that's kind of how how you can do that. There you go. It also does remove a Mirage stack. Esther is going to downshift and use her Bunny Bolt Blitz. Kaito is going to just use triple skills here, and Skye is going to stack one more time. Do a little bit of damage, push the gauge a little bit. We're at 39%, not doing too bad. This turn sometimes hurts a lot and sometimes does not hurt much at all. RNG, baby. Looks like we're okay. Chow didn't die, so we're doing okay. Whew. That also means Chow's going to counter a fair amount here, which is what we need big time. Lots and lots of cat Chow counters, please. Because on this turn, we don't really do a whole lot of manual filling of the gauge, unfortunately. And we really want to get below the attack magic buff right here, if we can, on turn 5, so that we can use it. Looks like we're going to make it, though. There we go. All right, Reberta's going to use her LB because it's massive. Leaping Love, again, for the modifier boost, which is very important. Esther's going to Stormbrand, Bolting, and Calm. There we go. Kaito is going to Deadly Storm, Natural Flux, and Deep Submersion. Skye is going to downshift and use Tyvis' Spirit. There we are. And Chow. How are we doing, Chow? Do we need to reuse? We need to refresh cover. Oh, we still have one turn of cover. We could just push the gauge really hard. Let's do that. Push the gauge as hard as we can. And we'll go from there. Dragon's Fury for mod boosts and stats and all that good stuff. Okay. And we will go ahead and use this as well. There we are. We're well under the mark. We are at 17, so that's not too bad. Question is, will Chow die on this turn? Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, Chow died. Chow comes back. We're fine. We are A-okay. On the downside of that, the boss did fill a fair amount of morale, and Chow is also not buffed now by defense and spirit, which matters because we're going to be using Chow to cap with his LB. So, whatever. Here we go. Mega Mystic, Mystic, Mystic. Sylvie is going to do Clever Strikes. Kaito is going to be using, in the base form, because that's where he's geared for most of his damage, some Torrential Blade Storms, Bunny Bolt Blitz, and capping with Skye. So the most I've ever seen this do on this this run has been 2.7 billion, and it was around when I had 17% morale. So we will see how we do here. The lowest I've seen it do is 2.56, which is the one that I actually cleared with. So we should be okay. But there's always variance. So we'll start with Chow, send everybody else, and then cap with Skye. So we'll do that now. We'll send Chow. Wait. Send everybody else and cap with Skye. There we are. And we did 2.9. So a new record for me. All right. Good news, the boss, when you cross the threshold, just kind of freezes his AI, which is kind of nice. We are in a good position now to get really, really tanky with Chow, with Focus, Inspiration, and Loyal, and True, and all that stuff. So we will do Loyal. Actually, do we need cover? We might need cover. We've got cover for 2 more turns. So we'll do, we will do Loyal, True, and Focused. Very good. Sylvie's going to downshift and do Bolt Egg. We'll go ahead and do, oh goodness, we're going to do, actually I think we don't need Bolt Egg because I think we still have Esther's added lightning damage. Let's see. Adds lightning. We're still good for 3 turns, so we're gonna hold off on that for right now. And we are going to use burgeoning defense instead. So we'll do petals, vines, and burgeoning defense. There we go. Nice. Kaito is going to go to the shift form and is going to use deep submersion, unpredictable tide, and undulating waves. That's going to remove the boss's buffs and also extend the duration of the debuffs that we put on. So that's cool. We'll do that now. There we go. Reberta is going to Rousing, Aquatic, and just a Mystic Breath, just to continue removing stacks. There we go. Skye is going to downshift, and we are going to triple. We're going to use the reduction of accuracy here, as well as just filling the gauge and reduce accuracy again. No, it's fine, whatever. Skye just doesn't want to lose stacks. And ideally remove some of the Mirage. So there we go. And then Esther can use Energizing Bunny, Bolting Slice, and Calm Before the Storm. And we're going to go ahead and use some other stuff too. We'll use resistance buffs, we'll use barriers, and defense and spirit buff. There we go. And that's just because after the 50% threshold, the boss does get pretty nasty. Kaito's removing the breaks, or the buffs, really helps. But it's nasty. So we should be okay, though, with all the good stuff we have going on. There we go. Chow, get in there. Yeah, we're fine. All of the buffs from Sylvie and Chow and all that really helps with mitigation and reducing the damage. And, you know, we're going to keep on pushing the gauge, hopefully getting down to as close to 0 as we can. The stronger we can to finish this fight as quickly as possible, the better. There we go. And how are we doing on Chow's cover? I think we still have 2 turns. We're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to do Guard Dog and those 2. It feels like a good safe turn to do that. There we go. Reberta is going to, we're doing turn 7, so we need to quad here. Not Inferno Breath. We're going to quad Chain. There we go. Sylvie is going to go ahead and shift and do, we're going to do Bolt Egg and Marion's Blessing again. And we're going to go ahead and do, we can't do defense yet. I kind of want to do defense, but we can't. So it's whatever. We'll go ahead and fill the morale gauge. There we go. And we're ready to start capping again. Do a little burst of damage here. Or do Bunny Bolt Blitz. And Kaito will go ahead and do Great Wave Assault, just a support chain. So here goes. We'll go ahead and use our attack and magic buff too. Looking good. Looking good. 1% morale left. Come on. Look at all those attacks that do barely anything. And we're hoping that we get totally filled up on LB gauge. We can do that again. Looks like we're going to be good. Thank you, Chow. Doing Chow things. Here we are. We've made it to turn 8. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do quad mystic breaths, right? To chain. Esther's going to chain. Kaito's going to chain. Sylvie is going to do leaping love to boost our modifiers. Wait for her to finish. Here we go. Skye is going to cap. Chow is going to cap. Make sure we're all really boosted. We should be pretty boosted anyway, but make sure we're all the way boosted. And we'll do the same thing. We'll do Chow, wait. We'll send everybody else, and cap. And there's our boss. We'll go ahead and show the damage breakdown as well as the gear. Last burst 2.1, not too bad. Not too bad. And 2.9 is the best burst that I've seen on this setup. So this is not too bad. We did well. There we go. Perfect score with all the mods turned on. Yeah, cool. And here's our damage breakdown. So, you know, Skye still does really well. I know that this is not, you know, this is not one turn, but Skye still does really well in Clash of Wills. So if you don't have an Olive and you want to use a Skye, you still can. Reberta still chipping in a good amount of damage, and of course Esther doing Esther things like she does. Really good for a lightning team. So there you have it. Let's take a look at the gear. What did I get? Nope. Let's take a look at the gear for everybody. And we will do that. Did that? I wonder if that refreshed my team. Well, it's the same team, but yeah. I was wondering if it was going to refresh my score, like show the damage that I did, but it doesn't show that. Let's take a look at the team, and I'm going to go ahead and leave all the mods off for right now while we're looking at it, so you can just kind of see it for the way it is. We'll start with Chow. Chow is built for countering and HP as much as we can, with a little bit of earth and a little bit more water. That way he can counter as many times as possible. And that's how I've got him set. He's wearing Sylvie's vision card because I only have one. And it helped with getting resistances and stuff like that. So he's wearing it. Oh, he is technically geared for high spirit in the shift form, doing some damage as much as we can. Oh, he's even missing... Man, he's missing something. I don't know what he's missing there, but he's missing something that probably would have helped him do more damage. What did I take off? I took off a damage boost. Yep. Oops. Whatever. So he could have done a little more damage, but I took it off for some reason. Whatever. Reberta is starting in the shift form using the Empress Rod and Memorial Ring to start with as much morale as possible, and then just some defense. Whatever. Shift form is more important. Has Summer Sparky because I have Olive, and then just as much magic as we can squeeze into there. Is doing the true double hand thing. And then gears really easily for Aqua Killer and just needs to add Bird Killer basically. And that vision card. There we go. Sylvie is geared the same in both forms. I mixed them up a little bit, but geared the same in both forms. Is wearing that vision card because she needs defense and HP, and that's pretty much it. She wants to counter, she can counter. Cool. Skye, her base form doesn't really matter all that much. She doesn't spend very much time there, but I just kind of geared her for, she needs her, TMR, STMR, so you can start with her limit burst full. And then I just kind of geared her for whatever. She's got some auto casting stuff and Tyva's Spirit, of course. Shift form, she's doing a great sword thing, so she can chain and do well with Esther. And then has her, STMR and some stuff. Kind of hard to gear her for this because she doesn't have any innates, but she is doing, her intrinsic, and she's wearing the Fravia Vision card for this modifier boost to the morale skills, which is pretty cool. You know, I think it's useful. If you're doing your big burst on turn 5, then this is a good card. Esther is in the shift form, kind of geared for LB fill and some bulk and whatever. There we go. And then base form is just damage. She gears pretty well for avian and aquatic. Doesn't do too great, but whatever. I don't have a ton of avian and aquatic anyway. There you have it. Black Submarine was from an armory ticket. It is what it is. Yeah, there she is, and she's got the Hero Vision card. Kaito spent most of his time in this form, so he's got some like auto-filling stuff. He's got his own vision card. Probably could be wearing Chizuru's vision card instead, now that I'm thinking about it. Would probably been a little better. Better killers anyway, because he does not have a ton of killers, especially not in this form. In this form where he does do his most damage on our burst turn, he is geared a little bit for avian and aquatic, but not too much. Just don't have a whole lot left over. And he does have some other needs, so there you have it. Probably could have put Chizuru's vision card there, though, and that would have been better. But that is it, really. There's the clear. There's all the espers and everything, and that was 2.9 billion damage. So if you find that useful and helpful, I'm glad. You don't have to have Olive. I could have, easily just given her something else to gear her for magic, and that would have been probably fine. Skye still works, which is a lot of cool fun. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.